Ever wonder why they call it normal? Ha! Because it kills you quietly. Normal is the cage you built with your own hands, decorated with paychecks and tiny little smiles, waiting for a retirement that feels more like a funeral march. People don't live anymore. They just rehearse their death in slow motion. Every day. Same routine. Same lies. And they clap for it. They clap for their chains. But you're different. You feel it. That itch under your skin, that whisper in your skull that says, this isn't it. This can't be it. You watch them laugh, scroll, eat, sleep, repeat. And something inside you screams, you're not broken. You're not crazy. You're awake. And that's the most dangerous thing you can be in a world addicted to sleep. They told you to behave, to keep your head down, to play nice. They sold you a dream that never belonged to you. White picket fences, 9 to 5 smiles, a little coffin of comfort where ambition goes to rot. But every time you tried to fit in, your soul spit it out, didn't it? Deep down you knew. Comfort is the slowest poison. I'll tell you a secret. Mediocrity is the only disease that spreads without a cough. It infects your friends, your family, your reflection in the mirror. You see it in their eyes, safe, dull, predictable. The walking dead of ambition. And the scariest part? They want you to join them. They want you to rot with them. Misery loves company after all. But you're not here for company. You're here for conquest, to tear the mask off the circus and reveal the freak show underneath, to spit on average and choke it until it begs for mercy. You don't want peace. You want fire. You want to feel your lungs burn with the weight of destiny. And let me tell you, if you don't choose your hunger, their comfort will choose your coffin. So here's the truth, my little misfit. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to break in, to kick the door off its hinges and laugh while the walls crumble. The world doesn't want another good little citizen. It wants a monster. And lucky for them, you've been starving long enough to become one. Hunger. The one thing they could never kill in you. No matter how much they fed you, lies shoved comfort down your throat, wrapped you in safety nets. You still starved for more, for something beyond their menu of mediocrity. And that hunger, that gnawing itch in your veins, it never sleeps. It waits, it claws, it demands. They told you hunger was ugly. They told you ambition was greed. They told you to smile and settle for scraps, but let me ask you, what's uglier? Wanting more, or watching yourself decay into nothing? Greed is survival, dressed in fire. Desire is oxygen for the ruthless, and if you're not choking on it every day, you're already dead. The richest man alive isn't the one clutching coins. It's the one who refused to be tamed, the one who looked the world in the eye and said, no, I want it all. Not a piece, not a taste, everything. The throne, the crown, the kingdom. And you know what? The world listens, because deep down, it fears the starving wolf more than the fed sheep. But here's the twist. Hunger will eat you alive if you let it sit idle. It'll rot you from the inside if you don't feed it. Blood, sweat, obsession. Hunger isn't kind. Hunger doesn't wait. Either you burn with it or it burns you. There's no in between. You are predator or you are prey. Simple math. Brutal truth. So tell me, what if your hunger was your weapon? What if it wasn't your curse, but your crown? What if the fire inside you wasn't meant to be extinguished, but unleashed? Imagine that. Imagine every suppressed desire, every silenced scream, every midnight fantasy exploding into reality. The world wouldn't know whether to fear you or follow you. Because here's the final cut, sharp and bloody. If your hunger doesn't consume you, this world will. And it won't even chew. It will swallow you whole, spit out your name, and forget you ever existed. So feed it. Feed the hunger until it becomes the only voice left. And when they ask why you want so much, just laugh. Because too much has always belonged to the ones who dare look in the mirror. Go on, take a good look. See that smile, that frown, that tired pair of eyes staring back at you. That's your enemy, not them, not the world, not the economy, the government, or your past. Number, the real enemy wears your face. And it's been laughing at you every time you flinch, every time you hesitate, every time you whisper, maybe tomorrow. Your mind is a battlefield. Every thought, a soldier. Every hesitation, an assassin. Doubt is the sniper in the shadows. Excuses? They're the poison you drink willingly, pretending it tastes sweet. And hesitation? Oh, that's the guillotine. You put your own head on the block every single time. The war isn't out there. It's in here, behind your skull, between your ears. Here's the brutal truth. If you don't control your mind, someone else already does. And they're not using it for your dreams. They're using it for theirs. Advertisers, bosses, politicians, puppeteers with invisible strings, tugging at your thoughts, feeding you distractions, lulling you into obedience. You thought you were thinking freely? Haha, you're not even holding the pen that writes your story. But there's a way out, and it's ugly. You've got to starve the old self, the weak one, the coward, the one that says, play it safe. You kill it, you choke it, you bury it under obsession, and in its place, you feed the monster waiting underneath, the one that doesn't ask permission, the one that doesn't care about approval, the one that laughs while tearing through walls they said were impossible. Visualization is your blade. Wealth is built twice, first in thought, then in reality. You think like a king before you wear the crown. You picture it so vividly that reality has no choice but to bend, to kneel, to bow. That's not daydreaming. That's programming. That's you hacking your own mind before someone else does it for you. So, here's your choice. Keep letting your enemy win, or grab it by the throat and twist until it screams. Because the face in the mirror isn't innocent. It's guilty. Guilty of killing your future, one excuse at a time. And the only way out is war. Bloody, relentless war. Against yourself. Against your old skin. Until there's nothing left but the monster you were meant to be. Nothing grows without blood on the roots. You want power. You want wealth. Then learn this first. Everything you desire has a body count. Sleep, comfort, relationships, safety. All of them. Bodies. Buried, forgotten. You don't rise without cutting something down. Every empire stands on bones, whether they admit it or not. And the ones who hide it? Ha! They're the dirtiest of all. They sold you the fairy tale of balance. Work a little, rest a little, love a little, achieve a little. But let me tell you the truth. Success isn't balance. Success is a massacre. You don't juggle. You don't compromise. You kill. You kill distractions. You kill weakness. You kill the version of yourself that still believes in comfort. Because comfort is cheap. And cheap never built a kingdom. Scarcity. It's a trick. They told you there's not enough for everyone, so you'd stay small. But here's the punchline. There's more gold, than you could ever spend, more power than you could ever hold. The catch? You have to bury your old life for it. You have to sacrifice the soft parts of you, the ones that cry for rest, for safety, for approval. Only then do you earn the crown. But here's the problem. Most people refuse to bleed. They want wealth, but they want it painless. They want glory, but they don't want scars. They want the throne, but not the war. And that's why they stay broke. That's why they stay forgotten. Because they never understood the equation. Every step up the ladder drips with something you lost, something you'll never get back. The ugly truth is this: riches demand blood. They demand nights without sleep, mornings with no guarantees, relationships torn apart, safety abandoned, like a corpse in the street. And the world won't clap for you when you pay the price. No applause, just silence. Until the day you show up with gold in your hands, and suddenly they all pretend they knew you'd make it. So ask yourself right now, how much are you willing to bleed? Because if the answer is not much, then congratulations, you've already lost. Power doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who rip, claw, and sacrifice everything until nothing's left but the empire they built out of their own ashes. Money isn't paper. It's control. It's leverage. It's the ability to bend reality. The bills in your pocket, just props, toys for the desperate. The world doesn't bow to paper. It bows to the hand that commands it. Wealth isn't counted. It's felt. It's the chill in the room when you walk in. The silence before your name is spoken. The ripple you leave in places you've never stepped. That's real currency. Network influence, reputation, skill. Those are the currencies that actually buy power. A man with no money, but a voice that moves armies, is richer than a billionaire chained to silence. A ruler without gold still shapes nations if he owns the minds of men. Money is only the shadow. Of real power is the flame that casts it. And the smart ones, they stop chasing shadows, they start lighting fires. So let me ask you, do you chase paper? Or do you command gravity? Do you beg for raises and scraps? Or do you tilt the room until every coin rolls to your feet? Workers think in paychecks. Rulers think in kingdoms. And every time you think like a worker, you're feeding the machine that will never set you free. They taught you to earn. They never taught you to command. That was on purpose. Here's the psychological switch. Stop thinking survival. Start thinking dominion. You're not here to make a living. You're here to twist the game board, to flip it, to design it in your favor. You don't work for gold. Gold works for you. And when you finally understand that, you'll laugh at how cheaply they rented your mind for so long. Cash follows kings. Kings never chase cash. They set the rules. They tilt the stage. They decide who eats and who starves. You want wealth? Build yourself into someone cash can't resist orbiting. Become gravity. Become the pull that money can't escape. Paper comes and goes. Power lingers. So burn this into your skull. Money is not the prize. It's the echo, the shadow, the reflection of something far greater. Chase it, and you stay a beggar. Command it, and you stay a king. And when you reach that point, money won't just follow you. It will kneel. The world doesn't reward the harmless. It crowns the ruthless. And here you are, no longer the prey they ignored, no longer the sheep they mocked. You burned mediocrity to ash. You fed your hunger until it became fire. You waged war with your own reflection and buried the coward beneath your skin. You paid the price in blood, in sleep, in silence, and in return, you learned power. Now you rise not as a dreamer, not as a worker, but as the predator they swore you could never be. Untouchable, irreplaceable, a force carved from scars and sharpened by rage. You don't blend into the crowd anymore. You make the crowd part when you walk through. You're no longer begging for a seat at the table. You've become the table itself. Listen carefully. Predators don't wait for permission. They don't ask for applause. They take, they move, they dominate, and the world bends because it must. Fear isn't weakness. It's your new currency. Respect isn't given. It's extracted. You're no longer chasing scraps. You're hunting thrones. And thrones don't run. They wait for the one bold enough to seize them. This is the point of no return. The moment you stop caring about what they think, about who claps, about who approves, power doesn't come dressed in acceptance. It comes wrapped in silence, dripping in resistance. And the louder they resist, the clearer the truth. They can't stop you. They can only watch. So, hear this and hear it well. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You only need the guts to take what's already yours. No begging, no waiting, no hesitation. Just the raw, violent courage to claim it. Because once you do, no one can ever put you back in the box. Think, act, dominate, grow rich, or die as you were born, forgotten.